So this is going to be the first episode of Paging Dr. Bob, where I ask members of the Discord community if they have topics that they want to, address to us, to me specifically. Maybe it's game related, maybe it's not game related. It could be anything, honestly. Stuff that we normally wouldn't discuss on the podcast. So this is essentially the trial run. This is like, we're not going to say episode 1. We'll call it like episode 0. But yeah, we already got a bunch of good topics sent our way. Some based around Twitch, some based around the political shit that's been taking place the past couple of weeks. But yeah, I mean, we might as well just get into it. I don't know how I'm going to edit this stuff moving forward. I don't know if I want to keep it one long episode of like, maybe this ends up being like a half hour. Maybe this ends up being 45 minutes. Or if I want to edit it down by topic. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe I discuss a topic for 5 to 10 minutes, edit it that way, upload it there. I'll figure it out. This is a ongoing process. We're going to iron this shit out together, but we're going to figure it out. By the way, I have one rogue mustache here that keeps tickling my fucking nose, and it won't go away. It won't stop. Okay. Anyway, we might as well just get into it. The first topic was brought up by Fee2D2 in our Discord, and if you want to send me topics to discuss, I'm going to try to do this once a week. If it starts blowing up, maybe I'll do like twice a week, depending. But brought to us by Fee2D2. The headline of this article is PogChamp emote banned for the ties to Capitol violence. So, if you don't know, there was some wild civil unrest that took place over the past week and a half, basically. And a bunch of angry people stormed the Capitol to try to, I don't even know what the fuck they were trying to do, to like overthrow Congress when it came to the vote for the inauguration and to affirm President-elect Biden. Dude, I don't know. It's so fucking stupid to me that people thought that that was a way that it would work. Regardless, this article describes what happened with PogChamp on Twitch. Did not need to get that loud. So this article describes what happened with PogChamp on Twitch. I'm sure anybody watching this already understands what the fuck's going on with it, but PogChamp is essentially the most used emote on Twitch, and it originated from this guy, Ryan Gutierrez, also known as Gutex. He went on to say, after what happened in the Capitol, that the person who was hurt and subsequently passed in the Capitol was a martyr. And all sorts of hashtag MAGAs, all that bullshit. And he was basically invoking and provoking more civil unrest. So Twitch went and decided, we don't want to associate with this person. We're going to have to remove PogChamp. So that's what happened. PogChamp was removed from the site, but in better news, and I think, let me double check to make sure, Reg was the one who sent this tweet. Moving forward, they took this suggestion from the guy, Sean Plott at Day9TV. Yo, Twitch, suggestion for PogChamp, create a database of streamer and or general faces. Whenever someone types PogChamp, display one of those faces at random. Would give a really nice crowd feel to a chat spamming PogChamp and allow the meaning to be tied to all of us instead of the previous PogChamp. So, Twitch said, fuck it, that's a good idea. If only Twitch listened to people more frequently, but regardless, Twitch listened to this one. You know what? In the spirit of figuring out 2021 together, let's just roll with this for now. Get ready for a new PogChamp every 24 hours starting today. And they did it. I think this, what was this, yesterday or, no, 3 days ago. So every single day since this went into play, a new variation of PogChamp has been used in Twitch, which I think is a great idea. I think it's a brilliant idea. It's a way to separate themselves from Gutex and, you know, his insightful, whatever the fuck he was trying to say. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to, you know, lean into anything political. My opinions don't matter in this. He can say whatever the fuck he wants. But Twitch as a company and as a platform decided, okay, you could say that shit. We're going to distance ourselves from you. Get the fuck out. Like, get lost, kid. So I think this is a good move moving forward for them. I think having a unique PogChamp every single day shows that there's like there's a larger community around it and a larger viewer base that use PogChamp. That it's, I feel so weird just saying PogChamp over big Poggy energy, small Poggy energy, Poggers, big Poggers. But like, I need to get that all out. But like, I think it's a good way for Twitch to, one, listen to creators on their platform, and two, not just fucking take something away from everybody for once. You know, like, they're instead of just saying, okay, cool, guess what, we're never gonna do this again. It's okay, we're gonna remove it for a short time. Also, we're gonna fix it though. Like, whatever you have for ideas, we're gonna fix it. And three, it shows that it's like in 2021 already. I think Twitch is doing more in the first, 2 fucking weeks of this year to connect with creators, with their viewer base, like on a level of communication where it's like, you tell us one thing, we hear it. If it's a good idea, we'll go with it. Instead of just people screaming into the void that Twitch was all of last year and the year before. So again, I think this was a good move on Twitch. I think they're a company. They can do whatever the fuck they want when it comes to the dude Gutex. I'm not here to judge them for it. I'm not here to judge him for his speech or whatever the fuck he was trying to incite. I don't want to judge the people that even stormed the fucking Capitol, but it's a stupid thing to do. I mean, it's not going to change anything. You're a bunch of fucking idiots. But good move on Twitch. Good move on Day 9 TV. What I want to see, though, is whenever somebody like hovers over the new PogChamp of that day, it tells you like brackets, this is the stream that it's from. So if we had a Wicked Good Gaming PogChamp and like our day came where it's like my stupid face of, and then, or no, hold on. Where it's like my stupid face of, and we, like, it's our day. Like, it's the Wicked Good Gaming day. My face is the PogChamp for that day. If somebody hovers over it in chat, it shows like PogChamp brackets Wicked Good Gaming, and it tells you that's where it's coming from. So Twitch, you did a great job at listening so far. Here's another one. Here's another little tip for you. Actually, you know what? For some of these, we're gonna do something at the end. It's gonna be Dr. Bob filling out a prescription. Okay, so here it is. Twitch doing a good job at listening. Still hasn't really figured everything out. So what I'm going to prescribe to you is add the brackets for what community that PogChamp came from. Everybody wins. Check. There you go. On to the more political, because of course it's been a week and a half of unrest, political unrest. Granted, it's been 4 fucking years of political unrest, but regardless. Who sent us this one? I think Rockin' sent... Yeah. A Trump tax means you'll pay even more for NVIDIA and AMD. Impossible to find graphics cards. I haven't gone too deep into this one yet, but I thought that clickbaity title from The Verge, of course, I thought it was interesting. But let's see. It's looking like the worst time to build a new gaming rig. I disagree, actually. I think if you're buying anything other than a 30 series card, this is the perfect fucking time. This is not a true statement. What's up, Skydros? It's very quiet. Hold on. I don't want to crank the gain too much because then people hear me fucking breathe. Right. Back to the article. It's looking like the worst time to build a new gaming rig is still to come. That's not a true statement. If you're looking for a 10 series card or if you're looking for a 20 series card, it's not that fucking bad. But if you're looking for a 30 series card, bro, yeah, it's the absolute fucking worst. What do you expect? The 30 series cards just dropped. Of course, it's going to be fucking horrible to find. It's going to be so difficult to find. The only ones I've been able to find were in pre-builds. And I've been genuinely contemplating getting a pre-built with a 3080 in it. Perfect Storm pushing further because Donald Trump is now a part of that storm. Okay, you're the Verge. You don't have to get that political. Imposing a 25% tax on graphics cards imported from China, and at least what? And at least one PC component manufacturer has announced it'll pass along part of that cost to the consumers. I mean, what's up, Seth? Do I need a 3080? I mean, I don't need anything right now. I've just been contemplating upgrading for a little bit. 25% tax on graphics cards imported from China. I mean, I don't even think that's a bad thing. I don't know. I don't think that's this is a horrible thing. PC component manufacturers announced it'll pass along to the consumers. Obviously. Like, of course, if they're being charged more to sell their international units, of course there's going to be something that kicks back to the consumer in the end. Like, say that 25% tax is tacked on to a 3080 card. Say, what's a 3080 go for? Like 800, like $500? 25% of that is going to be what, 125? Hold on. 500 divided by point or times 125 bucks. I'm a fucking mathematical genius. Okay. So $125 added on to the 500, it puts it at 625. Theoretically, for them to sell theoretically. So if they tax it 25%, it's the additional 125. They could essentially sublet maybe 700 for a 3080. Okay. So 700 times 0.25, that's 175. So in total, it should be 875. So, for example, it comes out to 875. However, it doesn't say how much of that percentage is being pushed onto the consumers. It could be 5% of that 25% tax. So instead of it being 875, let me get fucking like Notepad out or some shit. Okay. So 3080 equals $700 MSRP. We'll say normally like the tax would be what, 10%, so it would be like 770 or some shit like that, maybe around 800 bucks. But 3080 plus new taxes should come out to 875. So that's with all that entire 25% tax on those graphics cards being imported internationally. Okay? This is the most that it can be. These PC component manufacturers could just say 3080, or let me make this 25% new taxes. This company could in fact say, instead of charging our consumers that 25%, we're going to eat 20% of it because we know these things are going to sell. So instead, they implement a 5% tax instead of the 20% taxes. So let's see now. That's going to be 700 times 0.05 plus 35. So 735. I don't think that that is a crazy spike. Again, this is all hypothetical. But 735 from 700 MSRP, I don't think that's a crazy spike when it comes to taxing this shit. Especially if it's an international thing. Like if it was created in the US, there should be there's no tariffs on it. There's no taxing. But because it's being shipped internationally, it's being manufactured outside of this country, I get it. I get that there's going to be a tax on it. This is hypothetical. The 5% of that 25% gets added on, and then the manufacturer eats 20% of it, which would be that fucking 140. But let's say, I won't split the difference, but we'll say the consumer pays more. So it would be 3080 plus 15%. What do we get? Kenny, what doesn't have a 25% tax on it? Oh, good fucking call. Good call. So 700 times 0.15 gives you another 105. So that's 805. So even if you're taking the burden, like the majority burden of that percentage, you're paying an extra $105. Okay? I don't think that that's that crazy of an announcement if you're already spending $700 on an MSRP, like $700 MSRP on a 3080, which is bananas because one, where the fuck are you going to find that at MSRP? Two, any variation to that card is going to cost more. Like any signature series that comes with that card is going to be more than $700. So I don't think it's that fucking crazy. Like a 15% tax to 805 is, yeah, it sucks, but it's not so bad that an article needs to be written about it is basically what I'm trying to say. Let's see what else I have to say. For years, it's going to be, yeah, obviously. Even went to additional extensions. According to the U.S. government's tariff, would normally be a fee for import taxes. They were designed to tax $200 billion worth of Chinese products. Again, I don't think that's a horrible thing. Yeah, I don't fucking know. Now, the bigger question is whether price hikes might become permanent. Dude, they're going to become permanent anyway. Any signature series for a card is going to be a price hike. That is a constant. That's always going to happen. It doesn't matter. It's always going to happen. Again, though, still, like, at any given time, these manufacturers could just be like, oh, guess what? We're going to eat 20% of the tax on like a fucking holiday weekend or some shit. Like, if that's the case, if you get 20 or even, okay, here's a different scenario. They automatically just slap that 25% tax onto it. So it's at 875. So MSRP goes from 700 to 875, right? Guess what? There's a huge sale going on. What fucking holidays? Martin Luther King Day is coming up, right? Big Martin Luther King Day sale. 25% off. Guess what? You go all the way back down to fucking $700. It doesn't change anything. I don't think this is that big of a deal. I don't know. It's definitely not worth writing a whole fucking article about it. So we'll get rid of this for now. This is an interesting topic. Twitter has permanently suspended Trump's account. Why was Trump banned? Oh my God. All this clickbait shit. I hate it. Why was he banned? We know why he was banned. Because he was providing false information. Like, he was providing false information that he continued to spew forward. And it was against Twitter's terms of service. And they already told him 100 fucking times not to do it. They told him 100 times not to do it. If Twitter did this to anybody else, and they were, well, they did do it to somebody else. I'll get to him shortly. If Twitter did this to anybody else, where they gave you a dozen fucking opportunities to just be like, hey, you can't do this. You can't do this. Stop doing this. If you continue to do this, we're going to remove you. He kept doing it. Of course he got fucking banned off of Twitter. What do you expect? I am against censorship, and this is my personal opinion. It does not reflect Chris and Dom. They can have their own opinions on this. I personally don't appreciate or value censorship. I think anybody should be able to say whatever the fuck they want. But if you say something shitty and hurtful and it's targeted at somebody, I think that person that you targeted it at should be able to punch you in the fucking face. It's that simple. If someone's going to if someone came at me, which people do all the fucking time, and I know it's a joke, but if someone targeted me for harassment and was calling me like a fat loser idiot on Twitter all the time, I wouldn't get too upset to the point where I would demand for Twitter to fucking cancel that person. I would say that to my face. Because if somebody said that to my face, I would punch them in the face. That's what internet anonymity gives all of these people. It gives them that power of never having to go against any repercussions. So, I think censorship is a rocky decline. I think once it starts, it's really fucking tough to stop. I think when that shit starts happening, agendas get pushed. I mean, there's already a slew of misinformation that's delivered on every fucking social media platform there is. There's no way to enforce it unless you fully ban people. But there should be like some education behind some of this shit. So if Trump tweeted out something fucking stupid, like birds are real. Imagine Trump was a huge birds are real person, which we can all agree birds are not real. You know, it gets that little tag underneath. This information is, or this tweet is spreading misinformation or whatever the fuck it was. Trump tweets out birds are in fact real. They don't work for the government. They weren't created by the CIA in the basement of the Pentagon, and they don't spy on citizens, right? Imagine if he tweeted something like that out. Underneath it, instead of seeing 3,000 people tweeting how much of a fucking idiot he is, and then another 3,000 people praising him for being so open and honest with us, instead of that, right underneath it, instead of showing the immediate response, right underneath it, show an article, like an approved educational article saying birds aren't real and they don't exist. It's that simple. It's that simple, Twitter. If you need somebody to fucking hook you up, I'm right here. Okay? I think banning people off of platforms is a very slippery slope. However, Twitter's a private company. They can do whatever the fuck they want. They warned him 100 fucking times that if you're going to keep doing this shit, we're going to ban you. And he kept doing it, and they banned him. I can't fucking, as much as I say censorship is bad, the guy did it to himself. Like, what the fuck do you expect? Yeah, I'm just not a big, I don't see the value in censoring people. I don't see the value in trying to cancel or deplatform people. I don't understand it, because 9 times out of 10, all it does is fucking signal boost that person. Like, the Streisand effect is a real thing. It's a real thing. So when you try to cancel somebody, or when you try to deplatform, the only real way to cancel someone is to completely deplatform somebody. And I was watching a video that Devin Nash did last night, and that guy is brilliant when it comes to this shit. He was talking about the only real way to cancel somebody is to fully deplatform them. And the only person that they've really ever fully deplatformed was Alex Jones. And that was like a huge fucking multifaceted organized attempt from all these social media platforms to just, you know what, we want nothing to do with this guy anymore. And again, they're private companies. They could do this shit. This is for them to decide, not us. But like, the only real way to cancel somebody is to fully deplatform them. And you see that with Alex Jones. Granted, he still has his own website. He still goes on the fucking biggest podcast in the world frequently, whenever the fuck he wants, and talks to Joe Rogan. Like, the guy isn't gone in the sense that they want him to be gone. He's just not on these platforms anymore, which is their right to do that. But when it comes to the Streisand effect, again, imagine Trump tweets out something ridiculous like birds are real, and then it blows up everywhere and people are like, Trump, shut up, you're a fucking idiot. Obviously birds aren't real. You fucking created birds to spy on us citizens. The government created birds to spy on us citizens. All that does is it swells all of that fucking hatred and all of that vitriol towards him on social media, and he just gets more followers. That's what happens. He gets more followers, there's more views. I don't know. The guy had it fucking coming. That's basically it. They told him not to do it. He kept doing it. He got fucking banned for it. That's what happens. Got to be somewhat accountable. Imagine he thinks he's deplatformed when all he has to do is click a button on the fucking camera that he has in the Oval Office and it'll be on every TV. Dude, true. Yeah, but that ends in 9 days. So that technically ends, that should end in 9 days. It could end before that if he gets impeached, which, I don't know, it doesn't make much sense. It's a little late. They were going to do it. They should have done it. They should have actually done it, but it didn't work. All right. We get a couple more. Yeah, we only got two more. For now, at least. So Long Dong Silver sent this one. And it was a tweet of Halo Xbox 360 services are going offline this year, this upcoming December. Games remain playable indefinitely, but some experiences will be impacted. I mean, obviously something like this is going to happen. You start with the PlayStation 2. I think PlayStation 2 online servers went offline 2 years ago. Hold on. Okay. Sick. PS2 online services shut off. 2016, so 5 years ago, actually. Okay. So how long was the PlayStation 2 around for? March of 2000. It went all the way up until 2016. So that was 16 years of PlayStation online services. And I believe the last like running PlayStation 2 services were like Final Fantasy 11 and like that Phantasy Star Online game, I think. Regardless, it makes sense that the Xbox 360 online services will go off. Let's see. $2005. Okay, so 2005 to 2021, that is 16 years. Yeah, that makes plenty of sense. It happened on PlayStation 2. It's happening to the Xbox 360. Like you have to weigh the importance here of a now 3-generation old console How much player, like, what is the size of the player base that's still there? How often are they still playing on an Xbox 360 console? And is it bringing revenue into Microsoft at that point? Which I'm going to go ahead and say the answer is no. 16 years is a very long time for anything to be going. Counter-Strike is inching its way towards it. But yeah, I mean, they're still going to be supporting the Xbox One. There's Xbox Series X is brand new. Yeah, just like any other, this is essentially like any pre-internet console. Congratulations, Xbox 360, you now fall into that category. So, like, guess what? My N64 didn't have online services. So this was never an issue. This was never a problem. Granted, I'm going to say the majority of original Xbox 360 online games you could play on a different platform now with an online service. So like all of these Halo games, you can play on Xbox One, you can play on Xbox Series X, you can play on PC. Guess what? It's not that affected. You're not that affected by it. So I don't think this is a huge deal. I think this was destined to happen. It's going to happen with the Xbox Series X. The Xbox One in probably another 10 years. So yeah, this isn't too crazy. If you're that concerned, like if people are concerned about how could I possibly play Halo 3 on anything else but my Xbox 360, I think you probably have other things you should focus on. Also, I think PlayStation 4s and Xbox Ones are in a relative state of affordability right now. So if somebody, I'm not going to get rid of my PlayStation 4 until I beat all of the fucking games I have for it. So I'm not concerned about these things. I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal. You're going to see it happen to every online console going forward anyway. So unless, I don't know, actually. I think Microsoft is creating, with the cloud, a good cross-generation platform for online connectivity. So maybe this doesn't happen with the Xbox One. Maybe it just goes forward. Maybe it just stays cloud-based. You know what I'm saying? Huh. Yeah. Interesting. I don't think it... Maybe the Xbox 360 is the only one. This one I didn't read too far into, though. Okay. Xbox Series X controllers could get a PlayStation 5 DualSense feature. Here's what we know. What does that even mean? Like the haptic feedback? If this is a clickbait article, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. What DualSense features, though? Do you wish it resembled the PlayStation? It does resemble the PlayStation DualSense. The PlayStation DualSense resembles the Xbox One controller. We'll roll back a little bit. Do people secretly wish the Xbox controller resembled the PlayStation DualSense? It doesn't make any sense because the PlayStation DualSense resembles the Xbox One controller. Whoever wrote this article doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. The survey asks a number of related questions. What does this mean? It doesn't mean anything. If anything, it's going to be haptic feedback. But like Sony might have that patented. Built-in speakers, haptic feedback, adaptive triggers. Again, Sony might have all of that shit patented. And if they do, guess what? Microsoft's shit out of luck. They can't do anything about it. Unique experience with DualSense. I've heard very good things about DualSense. I get it, but not every controller could be created equally. This is not a DualSense controller. if this shit is patented by Sony, it's never going to be implemented on this shit. Okay? This shit could just be Sony's. This shit is Microsoft's. These might never come to fruition. These might never see each other, ever. What is this article, dude? Yeah, it would be cool if the Xbox One controller or the Xbox Series X controllers had haptic feedback, if it had adaptive triggers, if it had built-in speakers. However, Xbox Series X has something that Sony doesn't have. They have the Pro controllers, or whatever the fuck they are. Yeah, the Xbox Elite. Guess what? All of this shit that people are complaining about, that, oh, Sony has this, but Xbox doesn't have it. Guess what? Xbox has an Elite controller. Sony doesn't. Get over it. Get over it. Here, guess what? I forgot to do this for the last one, but I'll do it now. For, what were the last two? It was all Trump shit. Oh. Yeah, so the Trump taxes, here's my prescription for you. Wait for a fucking sale. Here's the prescription from Dr. Bob, right? If you're going to go buy a 30 series card and you're turned completely off by this 25% tax, wait for a sale. Then it goes back to MSRP. All years. What else? Oh, Trump getting banned off of Twitter. Take some accountability for your actions. You're an adult. Twitter told you not to do this. You did it anyway. You got fucking banned. Take accountability. There you go. There's your prescription. What else? The server's going offline. This is life. If you played PlayStation 2, you understand that this already happens. Get over it. Also, side prescription. Xbox Ones, PlayStation 4s, relatively affordable right now. Look into that. And then the last one. Oh boy, the last one. If you're that upset, here's my last prescription for the day, and we're going to call this one, okay? I think we've been running for like 45 minutes. Here's my last prescription for paging Dr. Bob, right? If you're that upset that an Xbox Series X controller doesn't have the built-in speakers, the haptic feedback, and the adaptive triggers that the DualSense has on the PlayStation 5, get the fuck over it. You guys have Elite controllers. PlayStation doesn't. Stop fucking whining. There you go. There's your prescription. So, with that, I think we're going to call it. I still have to fix my stream. It keeps crashing all the time. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in for the first episode of Paging Dr. Bob. I'm going to figure it out. I might upload the entire thing together as like Paging Dr. Bob episode 1 and then edit them down into individual categories and then upload those as well. Like, more content is good. Or maybe I'll just do them individually. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We're figuring this out as we go. But, and that's a big old but. Back that ass up. That's a big old but. But, if you would like to contribute topics to Paging Dr. Bob moving forward, join the Discord. There's an entire channel for it. Just send me an article, a tweet, a video, anything along those lines of a topic you want me to discuss, and I will try to discuss it once a week. That's what I'm going to aim for now, once a week. We'll see how that goes. If it goes well, maybe we'll do twice a week. If it goes poorly, maybe we'll do once every 2 weeks. Just, it depends on the content that is brought to my table. is basically what I'm trying to say. So if you guys want me to do it, you gotta send me those articles. You gotta send me the videos or the videos or the tweets. So yeah, we will catch you potentially next week. I'm gonna go edit this down a little bit, I guess. Peace.